thank you guys all for coming to the launch night of Inverse Performance Art Festival. It's been a long time coming and a ton of very productive, energizing work to put this all together. Tonight sort of functions as the launching point to 3 days of a really diverse lineup of performances by these lovely artists here. Let's give our artists a round of applause. So, just so you know how the night's going to go, we're going to introduce the festival briefly, and then we're going to introduce each artist individually. Then we'll take a little bit of a break. There's wood-fired pizza for purchase behind me, so I hope you guys will get some dinner and get some beer. And then at about 7, whenever we call you, then about 7:15ish, we'll call you into the gallery for the first performance. You're going to be seeing 2 performances tonight. They're very different, and so the first one will be about 45-ish minutes, and then the second one will be directly after. We should be done with everything by 9, maybe, maybe a little before. So that's how the night's going to go, and if you have any questions, you can wave me down, or Cynthia, and this is Cynthia Post-Hunt. She has co-curated the festival with me. It's now in its 2nd year, so I'm going to let her talk in a minute because she's way more eloquent than I am. But first I have to say some thank yous. So the program at the gallery, as you all know, is put on by the Harold J. Miosi Trust, so we're very grateful for them. We can clap. So it's really fabulous that we have this funding as a resource to bring new contemporary art to the area. Just being able to be outside and to have beer and to have a food truck required like endless paperwork and lots of running back and forth, and that was pretty much exclusively handled by our Fine Arts Division Assistant, Magnolia Stork, who's serving beer. I think she had to fill out the same form with little edits like 6 times, so she has more patience than I do also. The other cool thing about the festival is that since each performance is different, there's different elements to each thing, different props, different resources needed, different food needed, and the majority of that we were able to get donated by a lot of local businesses, which is really, really cool. Like, they don't even really know what performance art is, and they're willing to donate anything from raw wool to hummus to Mediterranean platters, so it's really fabulous. So I'm going to list them, the people who have donated. Jaffa Cafe donated the reception items for Sharon Mansour's performance on Saturday. Buttercup Bakery donated baked goods for Industry of the Ordinary's performance on Saturday morning. Mint and Craft donated coffee. Sylvester's Burgers gave all the artists free burgers. So that's cool. And Sea Pines Golf Resort gave us really great discounted rates for the rooms. So it's awesome to see the community rally. Oh, Shine Cafe. Shine Cafe gave a lot of vegetables and like Sunshine Cafe and a box of potatoes and barley. So all good things. So this is Cynthia. I'm going to let her sort of introduce the festival a little bit, talk about how we started, and then we'll keep going.
All right, hi. My name is Cynthia Post-Hunt, and I'm originally from California, but I currently live in Northwest Arkansas. Emma and I met in Chicago, where there is a diverse, very collaborative performance community. And when we both left Chicago, I moved to Arkansas. She initially moved to Dallas. We noticed this need for an opportunity for performance to happen outside of big cities. And so that brought about Inverse 2016. It started in Northwest Arkansas, and we brought some of these artists, as well as others, with an open call. And we were equally supported by the community in Northwest Arkansas, cafes, museums, local community members hosting the artists. It was a full-on community effort, and we had, I think, 27 artists that first year, including live performance work from international artists. So when Emma came to San Luis Obispo and saw the beautiful campus and the beautiful community here, we started to talk about how cool it would be to bring it to Cuesta College and to San Luis Obispo. So we're here.
So I think we can start introducing artists now. The first artist I'm going to introduce is part of a collaboration, and her other half is here tomorrow morning. Her name is Lauren Ruth with Mesa Hickson. Their collaboration is called The Shaft, and welcome, Lauren.
Thank you, Emma and Cynthia, for curating this. Hi, everyone. My name is Lauren Ruth. I'm the co-founder and conspirator of The Shaft with Mesa Hickson. In an era of hacking and fracking, have you ever wondered, what's love got to do with the environment? How can I stop industrial pollution and still find the one? Well, now you can. We, The Shaft, cordially invite you to your dream destination wedding this Saturday from 7 to 9 p.m. We have a variety of products and services to choose from. Come sip polar iced cappuccinos with the love of your life in a greenhouse gas temple. And find out what love in the Anthropocene really means. Thank you.
Just briefly, that piece will be here from 7 to 9 tomorrow, or Saturday night in the gallery. Next up, we have Industry of the Ordinary, who are not here yet.
They're coming from LA right now.
Yeah, so they'll be here tonight. But they will be doing a piece out at Morro Bay. These guys are from Chicago. They are our mentors. A lot of how we collaborate and kind of why comes from these guys. So they will be here doing this piece where they are reestablishing the trade route in Morro Bay. And so we really encourage you to come out to the bay. Where are we?
It's at the beach next to the museum across from the golf course. You'll see us.
And you can be on the coast, like on the actual land, or you can go out to the spit, and they will be trading materials with people. So bring something to trade. Think a little bit about what trade is, what commerce is, what you're willing to give, and what it's worth to you.
And next I'm going to introduce Sharon Mansour. She'll be performing on Saturday afternoon.
Thank you, Emma and Cynthia. It's great to be here. I was in Arkansas in the spring and was really thrilled to start this project that now 6 months later I'm happy to share more of. On Saturday from 4 to 6 in Meadow Park, I'll be sharing Dreaming Under a Cedar Tree, part performance, part site-situated environmental meandering, part food sharing, and part conversation, all with the Middle Eastern flavor. This is inspired by my father's family who came to the United States from Lebanon in the early 20th century, and various adventures and misadventures, and my own sort of in-between ambiguous identity being Arab American, not quite white, not quite not white. And also what it is to dream of place, either places you left and you don't ever get to return to, or a place you long for and you haven't been to. Come and find out on Saturday.
All right, so next we have Rosary Mento from New York.
Thank you, Cynthia. My name is Rosary Salamento. I live in Jersey, right outside of New York City. I will be performing at San Luis Obispo Museum, beginning there and going to the Mission tomorrow night at 8:30. And my work, I am an interdisciplinary activist artist. And with this work in particular, it's a performance. And it revolves around my narrative when I had a bone marrow transplant for multiple sclerosis. So there's a big social construct and a lot of prejudices that are seen surrounding people with health conditions. So that's what this work revolves around, is addressing those social issues and allowing people to talk about those issues and their identity and loving themselves. Thank you.
Next up, I'm going to introduce Lily McElroy, and a little funny side story is Lily's work was presented to me in the first performance art class I ever took, and I was obsessed. Like, I was so obsessed with her work, and when I invited her to perform with Inverse, I was very nervous. Like, the first time I talked to her on the phone, I was like, I feel like I'm talking to my hero, so it's very cool to have her here with us tonight. So here's Lily.
Thank you. I just want to say thank you for, of course. Thank you. And thank you for inviting me. I'm really thrilled to be here and get to meet everybody and see everybody's work. So if I were to describe my work kind of as a whole, I would say that I make work about what it means to be an American in a time of diminished expectations, which is now. But I also make work that is about the attempt to form a connection. So attempts to form connections with other people, attempts to form connections with the landscape, attempts to form connections with your own experiences. And I usually perform for the camera. I enact gestures. So my work is very lens-based. And the project that I'm presenting tomorrow at 7:45 at the San Luis Museum of Art is a little bit of a departure for me. As I said, I perform gestures, but for this project I asked somebody else to perform a gesture. I asked my mother to photograph the reasons that she loved me, or loves me, continues to love me, I hope. So I asked my mom to prove her love for me, and tomorrow night I will analyze the photographs for you. Thank you.
So next up, I'd like to introduce Emerson Sigmund. We go way back to Chicago. This is Emerson's third Inverse Festival. So 2 years, three days, 3 pieces. Yeah.
Thank you both for having me back after 2 intense times. It's been a great ride having Inverse in Arkansas and now seeing it progress to here. My work specifically tends to be about group dynamics, individual dynamics, relational dynamics, the way in which we interact. And analyzing that, figuring it out together as a group, and pulling it apart almost in a detective-like fashion. So on Friday night, tomorrow at 7:15, join me at the San Luis Obispo Museum of Art, and we will dig in and figure out a little bit more about etymologies and some of the things that are prevalent in today's society. My work didn't always be, it hasn't always been about language, but I'm increasingly interested in the histories of the way in which we communicate with each other. Thank you.
So next in your program is Lois Flood, but unfortunately she has had a family emergency and will not be joining us. So you can just take a pen and cross that performance off of your brochure for Friday. Luke Mannarino is next up. He also performed year 1 at Inverse, and he's doing a durational piece downtown tomorrow afternoon.
Hi. Oh, shit. Sorry. So the performance that I'll be doing tomorrow is a performance from a body of work that I've been building for about a year now called Queer Housewife Living, and it deals with the home, suburban ideals, and what it means to make a journey as a queer person. So tomorrow I invite you to take that journey with me. It'll be beginning at It says 1 o'clock on the program. I might start a little bit earlier, but I think I'm going to stick to 1. At 215 Marlene Drive. So please, if you would like to participate in this walk, it will be about a 5-hour walk. We will be taking a walk through downtown SLO and visiting some queer landmarks. So I hope you will all join me on this journey. And make sure to bring water if you do decide to come. I'm starting at 215 Marlene Drive. And then the next location after that will probably be Mission Plaza. And you can probably get there at like 2:30, and that's probably, and the rest of the locations will all be around that area. So I hope you will join me for this journey. Thanks.
And I just want to say that all the stops on Luke's piece are on our Facebook, and we'll also be sort of updating live on the Facebook where he is and when. Okay.
All right, next up we have Chun, Catherine Dong, and she is with us from Canada.
Hi. My name is Anya Catherine Dong. I was born in China, but now I live in Montreal and Canada. The work I'm going to do tomorrow is called The Warrior, and it is about how to use self-care as a feminist strategy for resistance to transform violence. So in this performance, what is most important thing for me is to create some positive and sustainable gestures or actions to transform violence without depicting violence itself. So tomorrow I will be performing here, starting from 1 to 3:30, and you can come here like anytime you want. Okay, so see you tomorrow.
And the next artist I'm going to introduce is Anya Catherine. Anya and I got connected through a feminist collective I was a part of called Hysteria, and she will be performing this evening.
Thank you both for having me, and I'm excited to see all of you here. My name is Anya. I am currently based in LA. My background is in dance, and then that later turned into choreography, which now is movement, direction, performance, art, film, kind of like all different mediums, just really with bodies at the center of anything that I'm doing. And tonight, it's kind of the second piece that I've been working on, mixing, I'm really into slow cinema as a genre and also surrealism, so just kind of pairing seemingly unrelated body positions, props, and sounds together for an audience to be able to make connections by themselves with the space between all of the elements I'm putting together. So tonight is kind of one of those experiments, and it's happening, I'm the second performance, so I hope to see you all there.
All right, next up we have Ajay Sharma. He already started today. He's been busy working. So he'll be performing the next 2 days. So there are 3 separate times on your program. And he is with us from India.
Thank you. Thank you all. Whew. Let's start with some action. Yeah. So yeah, I'm Ajay Sharma, and would you like to do something? Yes. Just stand up, please. Okay. Okay. So just follow me 3 times. It will relieve you really. Give you a really good relief. Okay? Take a deep breath. Good. Now shake your hand. Shake your hand, shake your hand. Go up, slowly up. Breathe up. I say, ha! Good. One more time. Shake your hand, go up. Ooh. Good. One more time.
It is a performance after all.
Yeah. So now, little bit chance. So I'm performing here. So I always deal with a lot of layers of performance, and bit complex, bit dilemma and paradox. So I always use that kind of things to understand the action in present and understand the politics of human being. How yeah. So how politics deal with the people, life, So that's all. And there is more to explore, and see you tomorrow 10 to
11:30.
yeah, 10:30 to 11:30, and then Saturday and 1 to 3. Yeah.
Both
So-
at the gallery.
And there is one more action, that is in that field.
In the field across from the.
So
the
that is basically the piece which try to relate with the whole action and situation, which is called Cultivating Hungerland. So that is about let's see how human beings and turn out in some sort of crisis, which is deal with the basic need of food and how the world dealing with this. It's really very important to look at the whole situation in a larger perspective, not only in India, but in US itself, in a different part of the world itself. How big company and how corporates are dealing to control the food system and the farming system, and how people get suicide. Like in India, every 4th farmer gets suicide, like every day. You can see the situation, how it is. So yeah, thank you for giving me chance to execute such kind of performance. And I feel like, wow, meet you guys. Hi!
So next up is another performer performing tonight, Beverly Fresh and Wild American Dog. Come on up.
Hi, I'm Beverly Fresh. This is the crooner. I was born one cold winter morning in a small town in the rural Midwest. The crooner was born in the back seat of a Cutlass Supreme behind a 7-Eleven in Indiana. His dad sold Focus pills, and that's how we met. He was the Kroger Bag Boy of the Year in 1976. 87. We're doing a piece, the first performance this evening, called the Wild American Dogs Big Time Tent Revival Tour. It'll be participatory, so you get to air your lungs out a little bit, get loose, let your hair down. It's based on the model of the traveling tent revivals and carnivals that would enter small towns throughout the rural Midwest. We typically perform in small towns. We take those experiences and bring them back to more formalized institutions, galleries, and museums throughout the country. And we'll do some songs, some chants, some stories, and some shaking. Say it. All right, I'm getting ready. See you in a little bit. Oh wait. Emma and Cynthia are the best festival organizers ever. So give it up for them. Doesn't get any better. Seriously.
So now we'll take a little break. You guys can have a beer, get some pizza, and I'll rally the troops when we're ready to go into the gallery for the first piece. Maybe in about 35, 45 minutes. Thanks you guys for being here.